What if I told you the most life-saving survival gear costs less than a cup of coffee? Picture this. The world flips upside down overnight. No power, no stores, no help. And all those pricey survival gadgets? Useless. If you missed the cheap stuff hiding in plain sight. Sounds crazy, right? But what if your best shot at surviving chaos is sitting quietly on a dusty shelf at the dollar store right now, ignored by almost everyone? Let me show you the 7 dirt-cheap survival items that could save your life when everything else fails. 1. Plastic tablecloth. Your dollar store shield. It's thin, it's flimsy, and it's usually stuck in the party aisle. But don't let looks fool you. That $1 plastic tablecloth? It's one of the most underestimated tools in your entire survival kit. Think about it when the rain's pouring, the wind's howling, and shelter is nowhere in sight. You don't need fancy fabric or military-grade tents. You need dry, you need fast. And that cheap rectangle of plastic is ready to deliver. Use it to build an emergency tent. All it takes is a piece of rope and 2 trees. Boom, instant cover. Lay it on the ground for a dry sleeping area. Tape it over a broken window or leaky roof. Fold it and wear it like a poncho. You've just protected your body heat, your gear, and possibly your life. Most tablecloths cover a 6-foot table or more. That's a lot of usable space in a tiny folded package. You can cut it into strips to wrap items, waterproof gear, or make impromptu carrying bags for water or firewood. And it doesn't stop there. Need to signal for rescue? A bright-colored tablecloth makes a high-visibility flag. Want to catch rainwater? Anchor it into a shallow pit and let the clouds do the work. Need to create trail markers for a group on the move? Tear off strips and tie them to trees. Visual cues can save lives in a maze of wilderness. And in a world where bartering becomes the new currency? A clean, waterproof sheet of plastic is gold. You can trade portions, share them in your group, or simply know you're one of the few who thought ahead. Lightweight. Packable. Incredibly versatile. This isn't just party decor, it's survival insurance. For a buck. So next time you see one hanging limply next to birthday balloons, grab it. Because when the storm hits and chaos begins, that flimsy plastic might be the smartest thing in your go bag. 2. Mini bungee cords, small tools, massive impact. They're tiny, they're stretchy, and they might be the most versatile survival tool you can buy for under $1. Mini bungee cords don't look impressive until you need them. In a crisis, they transform into instant problem solvers, holding down tarps, securing loose gear, bundling firewood, even replacing broken backpack straps. Let's break it down. A typical pack from the dollar store gives you 4 to 10 cords. Each one can stretch, hook, and hold without you tying a single knot. When your hands are freezing, the rain's pouring, or the sun's going down, fast speed matters. These cords get the job done. Lost your belt? Loop a bungee around your waist. Tarp blowing away? Use 4 cords to anchor the corners, done in 10 seconds. Got a flashlight but no headlamp? Strap it to a stick and turn it into a lantern. But it's not just about quick fixes. These cords work seamlessly in modular survival setups. Use them to build shelters, hang food from branches to keep animals away, or rig up a drying line. They're flexible enough for small tasks, yet strong enough to stabilize gear on a moving vehicle or pack. And here's where it gets real. Bungee cords are silent, no noisy clanking, no need for knots. Perfect for low-profile movement. When stealth becomes survival, silence is golden. They're also stackable trade goods. In a world where rope becomes scarce, you can barter these clean, reusable cords in small bundles. People will want them bad. Need extra tension? Double them up. Need longer reach? Daisy chain a few together. The possibilities are endless when your mind is trained to see utility in simple tools. The best part? They weigh next to nothing. Wrap a few around your bug-out bag handle, and you've always got emergency fasteners ready to go. So while others are showing off tactical machetes and folding shovels, you'll be securing, building, and surviving quietly with mini cords they completely ignored. 3. Disposable foam plates and cups. Clean eating, smart prepping. Most people see foam plates and cups as cheap, throwaway junk. But when water is limited and hygiene matters more than ever, these dollar store party supplies become serious prepping gold. Here's why. During a collapse, The ability to keep food clean, safe, and insulated isn't just convenient, it's critical. Foam plates and cups weigh almost nothing. You can stack a dozen of each in your pack without sacrificing space for tools, meds, or food. They take up less room than a t-shirt but deliver massive benefits in a crisis. In survival mode, you likely won't have access to running water or soap. That makes washing dishes a dangerous waste of time and resources. Reusing dirty gear increases the risk of illness. Foam solves that. Use it once, toss it, stay clean. It's not just about germs though. Foam insulates better than most lightweight materials. Pour hot soup or tea into a foam cup and you won't burn your hands. Serve cold water and it stays cooler longer. In freezing weather, foam even works as insulation for small gear, fuel containers, or medical supplies. Got a wobbly stove on uneven ground? Wedge foam plates underneath to stabilize your setup. Need a scoop for rice, powdered milk, or pet food? Foam cup. Want to catch a flame's heat from wind? Foam makes a great windshield when protected from direct fire. And let's not forget morale. When everything's falling apart, being able to serve a warm meal on a clean plate can give people, especially kids, a brief return to normalcy. That's worth more than you think. They're also shock absorbers. Place them between fragile gear in your bag. Wrap them around electronics or sharp tools. The softness protects your stuff without adding weight. Last but not least, barter. Clean foamware becomes valuable fast in a barter economy, especially for medics, families, or mobile camps who don't want to waste precious water on washing dishes. They may look disposable, but in survival, foam plates and cups are tools for hygiene, sanity, and smart prepping. 4. Aluminum baking trays, lightweight metal magic. Baking cookies? Sure. But in a grid-down emergency, aluminum trays do far more than hold lasagna. They cook. They store. They protect. They signal. And they do it all for under $2. These trays are made of malleable, lightweight metal. That means you can bend them, cut them, or use them as is. Need a pan for cooking over fire? Boom, aluminum tray. Want to purify water but don't have a pot? Fill a tray, cover it with plastic, and leave it in the Sunday solar still. Activated. Flip one upside down, and you've got a dry, stable surface to prep gear, light a fire, or clean a wound. Need to reflect heat from a candle into your tent? Aluminum tray becomes your heat booster. Need a signal mirror? Polish the shiny surface and flash sunlight toward help. Trays also serve as catch basins for melting snow or rainwater. Line one with foil and collect what nature offers. And if you're cooking, it can roast, bake, or fry without releasing harmful fumes or melting under heat, unlike plastic. But it doesn't stop there. Cut strips of aluminum to reinforce shelters, patch holes, or even armor-sensitive gear in your backpack. Tape it to the outside of a bottle to reflect sunlight and warm water faster. Use pieces as makeshift reflectors for flashlights or solar lights, or wedge it under a lopsided stove to level it. In first aid, it becomes sterile ground. Lay out tools or use a tray section as a splint. It can also stabilize gear or serve as a lightweight shovel in a pinch. Flat, stackable, and nearly weightless. You can carry 3 or 4 with zero bulk. And in a barter economy, clean aluminum becomes a resource you can trade in chunks, fuel dishes, heat reflectors, even insulation. While others overlook them, you'll be cooking, heating, signaling, and surviving with a dollar store tray they walked past. 5. Old garden hose, the survival multi-tool you forgot you owned. It's sitting behind the shed right now, cracked, dirty, forgotten. But that garden hose? It's not junk. It's one of the most versatile survival tools you never packed. Here's why. When chaos hits, everything is about adaptability, and garden hoses are incredibly adaptable. Need to transport water from a rain barrel, stream, or tank without lifting heavy containers? A hose becomes an instant siphon. Gravity does the work. No fancy pump required. Cut into smaller sections, hoses become insulation. Wrap them around cold tool handles, frame joints, or even your own limbs to retain warmth or prevent chafing. Line sharp gear edges in your backpack to prevent rips and injuries. But there's more. Take a short hose section, slide rope through it, and you've created a friction-proof tension clamp. That's a DIY tie-down that won't chew through your paracord or tarp grommets. Reinforce your shelter or create makeshift pulleys on the spot. Got fire? Use a hose as a blowpipe to direct air to your coals without burning your face. Want to make a funnel? Cut the hose at an angle boom. Instant spout for pouring fuel, water, or even filtering dry goods. In close quarters, it can even be a primitive communication tube. Run it through a wall or under a floor, and you've got a basic shouting line. When radios are out, from medical use, as padding for splints or separators, to grip enhancers on poles and tools, hose segments are functional gold. And when you think like a prepper, nothing gets wasted. Best part? It's cuttable, coilable, waterproof, and durable. And if you've got an old one lying around, it costs you nothing. In a barter situation, offering pre-cut hose sections can score big. Fuel funnel for trade? Done. Shelter padding? Yours. Bushcraft accessories? Wrapped and ready. So before you toss that ugly green hose in the trash, clean it, coil it, and stash it. When SHTF, it's not about what looks tactical, it's about what actually works. 6. Empty duct tape roll? Yes. Even the trash has value. You use the tape, you toss the roll. End of story, right? Wrong. That empty cardboard cylinder at the center of your duct tape isn't garbage, it's a hidden survival asset that deserves a spot in your gear. Let's talk fire. That dense, dry paperboard burns hot and clean. Tear it into strips and fluff it up for fast-igniting tinder. Or toss the whole roll in the fire pit, it'll burn slow, acting like a mini log that helps damp kindling catch flame. Now let's get crafty. That roll is a lightweight cylinder. That makes it perfect as a spacer or shock absorber in your pack. Wedge it between glass jars, tools, or electronics to prevent clanking and breakage. Flatten it out? You've got padding. Slide it into your boot as an emergency footbed if your soles are wrecked. Need a soft surface for a pressure bandage or brace? The roll's soft edges help stabilize without cutting into the skin. That's not all. Thread paracord or fishing line through the center and wrap it up. Congrats, you just made a free cord spool. No more tangled mess in your bag. Organizing on the fly saves time and sanity. Cut the roll at an angle, and now you've got a DIY funnel. Pour rice, lentils, even powdered drink mix without spillage. And here's a slick one. Drop a small light or candle into the roll, and it becomes a soft diffuser, preserving night vision and creating ambient glow inside your shelter. In a pinch, you can even slide a knife or small tool inside for safe storage. It's not pretty, but it'll protect you from accidental cuts. And when everyone else is burning through their fire-starting gear or digging through cords, you've got reusable trash doing all the work. Bonus: in a barter situation, bundles of 3 can be traded as fire starters, organizers, or makeshift tool protectors. Most people won't even know what they're looking at until you show them how it works. Lesson here? Smart prepping is about looking twice. If you're throwing it away, you might be throwing away an advantage. 7. Leftover zip ties, silent, strong, and completely underrated. They're not flashy, they're not expensive. But zip ties might be the most quietly powerful survival tool in your kit. We're talking fast, one-handed, no knot required fastening. Need to secure a tarp? Zip tie. Broken bag strap? Zip tie. Shelter collapsing in high wind? Zip tie it back into place. And they're silent. No jingling, no clanking. In a survival situation, especially one where stealth matters, quiet gear is king. Zip ties are stronger than they look. They don't slip, they don't loosen, and once they're locked in place, they hold. That makes them perfect for building emergency shelters, bundling gear, hanging lanterns, or even locking food high up on a tree branch to avoid animals. Need trail markers? Brightly colored ties wrapped around branches work better than tape or string. Want to secure a fence panel, set up an animal pen, or build a privacy wall? Done. But here's the wildcard: security. In grid-down scenarios, a zip tie across a doorknob or cabinet latch can delay intruders. It's not Fort Knox, but it buys you time. And in worst-case scenarios, they can even serve as temporary restraints or handcuffs in self-defense. Got a medical emergency? Use them to anchor splints, support a tourniquet, or even brace a broken finger. Too tight? Double them up and space them out. Need to organize cables or rig a DIY clothesline? They snap together in seconds. And because they come in multiple lengths, you can daisy chain them for large projects or snip them short for quick fixes. They're also barter ready. Unlike rope, which people hate cutting into pieces, zip ties are pre-sized, one-use tools. A bundle of 20 becomes a precious trade item when gear starts breaking and people are desperate for repairs. They weigh almost nothing. Toss 30 into a sandwich bag and forget about them until you need to fix something fast. Zip ties prove you don't need something big to make a big impact. You don't need fancy gear. You need to see what others miss. Let's get real. Survival isn't about looking tactical or spending thousands on high-tech gear. It's about spotting value where others see junk. It's about staying calm when the system breaks and knowing your next move before anyone else even thinks to prepare. Today, you didn't just learn about $7 store items. You saw how simple things, plastic, foam, cords, even trash can turn into life-saving tools when everything else fails. These aren't backup options. These are the first things to disappear when shelves go empty and panic takes over. And while most people are still arguing over which $500 bug-out bag is best, you're already thinking smarter, packing lighter, and preparing better. Because survival isn't about the money you spend, it's about the mindset you carry. So here's what to do next. If you're serious about staying ahead of the chaos, hit that subscribe button right now. Not for me. For you, every week, I break down real-world prepping strategies, low-cost gear hacks, and under-the-radar tips that actually work when things go sideways. No fear-mongering, no fluff. Just smart prepping for smart people, just like you. Click subscribe, tap the bell, and join the few who won't be caught off guard. Because when the lights go out, you'll either be ready or you'll be wishing you were.